Hello everybody, this is Randy with a little Carchaeology for you. I'm standing in front of a 1959 Tempo Matador Mikafa Landyacht, which is basically a coach-built camping vehicle that was built in Minden, Germany, based on a Tempo Matador chassis. Tempo made trucks in Germany mostly. They did some passenger vans as well. And they originally started using Volkswagen engines in the Tempo back in the early 1950s. Volkswagen eventually cut them off as far as supplying the VW engines because they started building trucks of their own. And then they went on to source engines from other folks as well. There's a few of these that had DKW engines in them, Austin engines. There was even one camper that was built with a Porsche engine back in the day. The majority of the Tempos, though, were trucks, and they were utility vehicles. But this company, Mikafa, that was building travel trailers after the war, decided, well, why don't we make a travel trailer that somebody can drive? So it's a very early motorhome, especially when it comes to European stuff. Certainly there were hand-built things that were done prior by private parties, but as far as a factory-built motorhome, this is a pretty early one, or at least all the other Mikafas were. This one being in 1959, it's a little bit into their production. I think the first ones they did were 51, 52, or somewhere right in there. But it was a very limited production, coach-built vehicle. They were all done specifically to order. They were extremely expensive. You'd had to be very wealthy, very well-to-do in order to have one of these built for you. This particular camper was built for a Hungarian count and his wife, who was of Vanderbilt descent on the East Coast. So it was built for their European tours, and it's a pretty interesting vehicle just because of that. It was definitely a no expense spared construction. They picked the colors, they picked all of the attributes. The name here on the side, Zagani, is Hungarian for gypsy. The interior, you can see here up top, there's travel badges from their trips through Europe. This front seat flips up into a bunk bed, and the two children in the family slept up in that bunk bed. The body is built all out of aluminum. It's a very lightweight construction despite of its size. All the glass back here is actually perspex, or plexiglass. It's got its big tip-up rear window for ventilation, and the inside of it is fully appointed with everything you could possibly imagine. There's a stove and a sink. There's a heater over there. There's a bathroom that turns into a dressing room into the closet. There's a nautical style clock. Up top there is a sunroof, moonroof type thing that scissors open. The screen is closed on it now. And that moonroof also slides backwards over the top of the roof so that you can access the luggage that's up on the top, the luggage rack. This vehicle has a phenomenal history, being a part of the Vanderbilt dynasty and heritage. They used this for 2 trips through Europe in 1959 and 1961, and then it came to the U.S., and it was used between their country home in Pound Ridge, New York, and their summer cottage, as they called it, which was the Breakers Mansion in Newport, Rhode Island. Had a little fun with the license plate frame on that. My other home is the Breakers. The camper is entirely original and unrestored. It was parked in 1971, and it did not emerge until last year when I caught wind of it, went back to New York and pulled it out with the help of some friends back there. I did replace the tires, did the brakes on it, had to open the engine up, do a head gasket, break the valves free, etc., etc. There's a full side tent that comes off the side of it that's very much like a Westphalia tent from the Volkswagen campers back in the day. It is an absolute one-of-a-kind, spectacular camping coach that was done extremely opulent. The glasses here with their little etched wildlife scenes are particularly fantastic. The color matched sleeping bags, curtains, all the pots and pans and camping accoutrements are all done with the best of the best. The bone-handled knives and flatware, bowls from Biarritz. I mean, it's really got a lot going on for it. It's a pretty spectacular vehicle, and I am absolutely over the moon about having it. I'm just coming back from a Concours event down in Dana Point, just about ready to put it back in the garage for a bit. Its next outing is going to be at the Quail Motorsports Gathering up in Monterey, where we'll have it on display there. And if you happen to attend that event, come on by. I'd be happy to give you a tour. Thanks. Bye-bye.